Welcome to Candy Making 101. Today I'm going to show you how to make peanut brittle. In your recipe it's written out step by step, but it's requiring that you pre-measure your ingredients ahead of time. And the reason why is candy recipes are not forgiving. So it is very important that you have everything lined up, ready to go, so as the candy gets to a certain temperature, you're ready to add it in right away. So I have everything already pre-measured, and this is what yours should look like the day you're actually going to make the candy. So we have our sugar, water, corn syrup, peanuts for peanut brittle, clearly, butter, and as you recall from your web quest, you cannot substitute ingredients. So if the recipe calls for butter, you cannot use margarine because it will not turn out. So butter must be used. Then you have salt, some baking soda, which is going to cause a chemical reaction and give you a smooth color at the end, and then a little bit of vanilla for flavor. Okay? And as you see, I put it in the order that you're going to be actually adding it. On your recipe, it's having you double your recipe. I've already doubled the recipe, so if you're smart, you'll follow along and fill in the reduced amounts as I add it. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you need an induction burner. If you end up having to work on the range, that's fine. You just need to make sure that you're really watching your candy because it will burn. I feel that the induction burner is a lot more equipped to monitoring the temperature. So you're going to need your induction burner, a medium-sized saucepan, and the reason why you're going to use a medium-sized saucepan opposed to a smaller saucepan is because it's going to bubble over. The syrup gets very, very hot, so it's important that there's space for it to grow, and it will grow. You're also going to need a candy thermometer. At your campus, you might have a digital thermometer. The reason why I'm using this, that I like this best, is because on the side it shows the different stages of candy doneness, and the peanut brittle is going to be cooked to the hard crack stage, which is one of the harder stages, so it's going to be more brittly, like it's going to crack when you break it down, and that's what you're looking for. You're also going to need a rubber scraper or a wooden spoon. Either of the two will work fine. Sometimes students get worried that the syrup's going to melt the spatula. It won't. This can tolerate up to about 450 degrees. It's NSF certified, which is right here, so that's your way of knowing if it's good or not. And then you can also use a wooden spoon, either of the two. I put both out just in case. And then as you're going through this whole recipe, because it's one of the final stages of doneness, you're going to be doing what's called the cold water test, and it's written into your recipe to do this as you're making it, and it's just so you can see the texture of each stage of candy doneness. So let's get started. So you're going to turn this on, and into your pan, you are going to combine your sugar. And you're going to I would start this on high, and then you can always go downward. You're also going to combine your water, and the sugar is 2 cups. Water, I'm going to add a ½ cup, which I just did. And then I'm going to add my corn syrup. And the corn syrup is 1 full cup. So essentially right now this is a super saturated solution. What that means is the water, because it's cold right now, cannot take it. So as you heat it, it will all combine into nice syrup. But it will not, the sugar and everything will not dissolve into the water because it's too saturated. Clean as you go. I'm going to use my wooden spoon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start stirring it. And as you can see, the sugar is going to start, and it's already starting to boil, so that's my cue to turn down my heat to medium. And you're just going to keep stirring it to dissolve that sugar. I'm going to insert my candy thermometer, and I'm going to look at it so I can actually see it. But my recipe reads that I'm going to bring it up to 150 degrees. So we're going to be right back as it gets to that. We're back, and my solution is right at 150 degrees. So once it reaches 150 degrees, I am going to add my peanuts right to the solution. the sugar solution, keeping your thermometer in because it's important with candy making that you're monitoring the temperature at all times. And with the peanuts, I added 2 cups. With the butter, I'm going to be adding 1 tablespoon plus 1.5 teaspoons. And then I'm also going to be adding in my salt. And the salt is just going to kind of balance out the flavors. Since you have so much sugary stuff in there, it's going to make it so it's not as sweet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to constantly stir this. The recipe reads, at this point, if you don't constantly stir your candy syrup, then the peanuts are going to scorch or burn. And you don't want that to happen. So you're going to constantly stir. Now, with some of the other recipes, it tells you to avoid stirring because if you over stir your candy, it becomes very, very grainy. So you want to avoid doing that. But if a recipe reads constantly stir, then you want to make sure you constantly stir. And the reason why with this recipe is because the peanuts are heavier than the actual sugar, so it's going to slurp down to the bottom. That's why. As you can see, the butter is already melting, and I am going to bring this to 240 degrees. And that's the first stage of candy doneness, which is the softball stage. And we're going to do our cold water test at that point. So we'll be right back. So as you can see, we're right at just about 240. It's hard to tell on the thermometer. I would zoom in. It's just, you're going to see fog. So as you can see, this is a cooked syrup. So it's going to get browner, more of a dark amber color as you keep cooking this, and that just means you're just cooking lightly, thoroughly, your sugar syrup. So this is exactly how it should look. You want to keep it still somewhat low. So what I'm going to do now, since I'm right at about 240, which is the softball stage, carefully, because this is very hot, it's 240 degrees, I'm going to take a small little 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to drop it right in my cup. This is the softball stage. So what you would do now is you would record, and you're going to do this, you're going to record down in your sheet exactly what you see. You're going to do this again, and I'm not going to show you each stage just because you're going to be doing it, but you're going to do it at 240, which is right here, 246, 260, 270, and then again at the final stage, which is 300 degrees. At 300 degrees, I'm going to add the remaining of my ingredients, and then I'll be back to show you. But make sure you're filling out your chart for each of the other stages, your recipe list. I am just at about 300 degrees now. As you can see, this is much darker. I'm going to move very quickly, which is what you need to do. And I'm going to take out another 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to dump it right in. And now this is your last stage. And as you can see, it's already gotten hard. And it holds, so that's my hard craft. Okay? Record that down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this out. Keep stirring. You need to move very quick with this. Turn that off. Put my vanilla in. Start sizzling. Be careful. And then I'm just going to stop for a sec to open this. I'm going to put in my baking soda, and a reaction will happen. Totally normal. It's going to bubble, and it's going to change color. And this is what's smoothing this out. This is very light right now. As it cools down on your tray, it's going to become more of a darker caramel color. If it's any darker than this, you probably burned your peanut butter a little bit, but it will still taste good. I'm just going to walk around. You're going to have your own sheet pan to put this on. You're going to take it out. Be very careful because it's very hot. Take this out. Be very careful, very hot. And then you're just going to smooth this over, like so. Just so it's a nice layer. And then, as you can see, it's getting darker as it cools already. You're going to put your name, your group number on here, and then this is going to take about at least 12 hours for it to cool. Then tomorrow, or the next day in lab, you'll pick this up, you'll be able to break it into bite-sized pieces. But before I finish with you for my little demo, just as a reminder, candy making basics, when you're cleaning your pan, you're going to go fill this with water, because it has that hot sugar syrup in there. This is the best method for cleaning. So I'm going to fill this completely to the top. And I'm going to bring it right over here. anything that has touched candy, I'm going to put in here. And the reason why is because it's going to remove all the sugar syrup from all my utensils. If you don't do it this way and you just put it in the 3-stick sanitizer, it may not come out. Also, if you are using the sanitizer, like the dishwasher sanitizer, it should come out, but just in case, this is the best method for cleaning it. Also, thermometers can never go in the dishwasher. It will mess them up. So you have to do it this way. All right, and I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to put it on full blast, and I'm just going to let it do its thing, and then I'll clean it. Caution though, when you're cleaning it, remember this pot of water will be up to about 212 degrees, so it's going to be very hot. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'll show you what my finished peanut brittle looks like soon. So here's my cooled peanut brittle. It's been one full day, so now the second day, you'll have this full block of peanut brittle, and I know some kids are like, oh my goodness, that looks weird. Well, I'm going to make it look better now. So as you start bending down, so it's going to crack, and then you're going to hit it until it's your bite-sized pieces that you're looking for. Like so.